mentioned it a little bit with, obviously everything's changing right now. I don't know if you mentioned how you're dealing with customers in your LinkedIn course, but I think that might be a good way to describe it, and customer service, that sort of thing. I think a lot of companies are really taking that into account more than ever right now.
Totally. I would say I'll answer the question from like Kim, the Superfan company, and then I'll answer the question from like what I found and the LinkedIn course and whatnot. But I would say for us from the Superfan company, how we've seen a lot of things shift in terms of our customers and their needs and what they're looking for is, sort of no surprise to anyone. Everyone's looking at doing things that are at home. Everyone's looking at if they are doing things that are on site, it's things that are contactless. So again, things that can be mailed. I think a lot of people are really focused on how, again, can we create that engagement? A lot of our business previously was at live events. So obviously we don't have live events anymore. So it's how do we create that magic at home? So I would say from a business standpoint with the Superfan company, that's what we're seeing the most of. We're seeing, okay, if we are going to do this virtual experience, if we are going to do this, drive-in movie theater, if we are going to do this virtual meet and greet, how do we make that impactful? How do we take that from a B- to like an A+? So that's really the problem that we're solving over there. I would say from a human, other small business owners, what small business is going through right now in terms of customers, I would say that is more focused on communication. And I talk about it a lot in the crisis course that we link to, because that seems to be the biggest source of friction from what I've seen from friends other founders who are friends, other small business groups that I'm a part of. Everyone's having a hard time reaching their customers, communicating with their customers. So really making sure things like updated hours, updated service information is on your website, is on your email, is on your social media. I always say you want the customer to go through no friction. So I'll give you an example of what that would be. I ordered pizza on Friday. And I wanted to order from a local pizza place instead of like a Domino's or Papa John's, and looked up a few pizza places and was on the website, and it looked like the websites hadn't been updated. So I was like, well, it's COVID. Like, are they doing delivery? Are they not doing delivery? I'm not sure. I tried to call one number, nobody answered. And so I just moved on because I was like, well, there's 5 other pizza places. That pizza place lost me as a customer. Now, if their website had been updated, like new COVID procedures or like new COVID hours, and maybe don't call, we've set up this online platform for ordering. Again, just giving people direction. I always say if the customer shows up at your door, you want to say, come right in. This is what you can do. Like, show people how to give you money. It sounds really simple, but you'd be surprised how many people don't do that.
I think it's hilarious. You highlighted so many obvious things. I think the advice on pitching too is really important. That a lot of these things are simple, and what you should do as an entrepreneur, but getting yourself to just, do that and be disciplined and accountable. I think that's such a huge part of it. I love everything that you're laying out. It's spot on. We have a couple questions here about COVID from Paula and Adrian as well. So the first one, Paul is asking, what has COVID taught you about being an entrepreneur? Which is, I think, an interesting topic. I'm sure you go into it in your LinkedIn course too. And then Adrian's asking, how do you think small agencies and small businesses are going to be impacted by it going forward? So I don't know which of the two you want to handle, and then after that, I think we'll wrap up and have Charlie end things. Does that sound good, Charlie?
Yeah, these are such good questions. And by the way, if you guys have more questions that we don't get to, we're going to put my phone number in here. You can text me. It's not, relax, mom. It's not like my real number. It's like a service called Community where we can text back and forth safely. You can't like come and murder me. If that's what you're thinking about doing, you can't do that. But I'll drop my text in here.
Community is great. We just got on Community as well.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
We can be friends without.
Just throw out her. Yeah, if you have it, you can text Kim. I just dropped the number in. There.
Perfect. Or you can email me if you like emailing. That works too. I would say, how do I think COVID has impacted small agencies? I would say twofold. One, obviously, holy heck, this is a lot to deal with, and you're dealing with a lot of shifts from clients and things that are going on. So on one hand, I think that small agencies are actually able to shift really quickly compared to the more titanic, like corporate entities that just take a really long time to like figure it out. The good news about small agencies is that they can be very nimble and quick, which right now in COVID, yes, we're open. No, we're under lockdown. Now we're open. Now we're not. Like, you kind of have to be. And I think in that way, small agencies have a huge advantage over the larger titanic like entities. Obviously on the flip side, it's much more disruptive right now. People are not spending as much as they normally would in terms of brands because everyone is doing this sort of wait and see. So it's a double-edged sword when it comes to small agencies. Honestly, I think at this point, it's like time will tell. I think that's one of the most frustrating things for me as an entrepreneur. So going back to kind of weaving in Paula's question of, what it's taught me, I think what this has taught me is, as an entrepreneur, you're normally very much like, okay, here is the goal, here is point A. I want to go to point C. How am I going to get there? Am I going to walk? Am I going to jump? Am I going to go under the ground, over the bridge? Like you figure it out. You're like, I know where I'm going and I'm going to figure out how to get there. I think what's really been disruptive and hard about COVID, and I've talked about it a lot with other entrepreneurs and small business owners, is that point C keeps moving. Like the goalpost keeps moving. Like when this happened in March, it was, okay, well, this will be over by July. Here we are. It is July. This is not over. So now it's like, okay, well, now the goalpost is shift to December. Is it really going to be December? Like, I don't know. So I think that's been the most difficult part, because I think entrepreneurs are very much like, if you give me a goal, I can get there. Might look kind of crazy and unconventional, but I'll get us there. And what's hard is when the destination keeps changing. So it's kind of like you keep changing your GPS. If you've ever done like the maps on your phone, if you keep changing the GPS, you're like, oh, I can't get to the destination. And I think that has been unprecedented as well, because even when you have a big event like Hurricane Katrina or, some big natural disaster, there's always kind of an end point. It's like, well, the hurricane's over now, or like the storm is over now, or the earthquake is over now. Like with big other events, there have been like an end point. And with this one, there's kind of no end in sight. So hopefully that helps, Paula. I don't know. If not, text me and we'll chat about it.
That's funny. Very animated. This is a very good talk. I'm having a good time.